Hi and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to look at Bootstrap.
Bootstrap is a very good tool that can help make the process of creating your website much easier. We have a number of predefined CSS classes that you can use and make your site much better and more appealing in a shorter time. So Bootstrap has various components. It has both CSS and JavaScript. But for today, we are only going to focus on the CSS bit. Today, I just want us to appreciate what Bootstrap can do. Like for our case today, we want to transform this page. We want to do some of the same things that are being done here, but we'll want to make it a little bit more appealing. With Bootstrap, the first step is to download it. We can download it from this site, getbootstrap.com. So I had already opened it. So when you just go to get bootstrap, it will bring you to that site, and then you can download it from here. So there is so much that we can get out of Bootstrap. We'll not exhaust everything in this one lesson. So as you can see, there is compiled CSS and AS, and we also have the jQuery, but we will use these ones later in our project. For today, we'll just focus on the CSS part, but we'll just download the whole of it. And just the same way as we were doing with jQuery, Bootstrap also has a CDN, so at times you may want to just link it directly from the CDN. So you'll just come and copy this. You can see there is a link to the style sheet, and there is also a link to the JavaScript. So, but for today we are going to download them. So just save the file. So this one has both it has both the uncompressed and the minified files. We'll just see that as we open our package that we've downloaded. So we'll just extract it. So for now, you can see there is a folder for CSS. It has the Bootstrap CSS, the Bootstrap, all these. But for today, we'll probably just be using the Bootstrap CSS. So I'll just copy this to our folder. So there is our folder. We'll paste it there. Then we'll come and reference it in our project. So in addition to our style sheet, we also have our Bootstrap .css. So I will want to have my Bootstrap loading first before my CSS, so that in case I have any additional styling in my custom CSS, it will override the Bootstrap CSS. That is, I'll explain that. Suppose we have say class, like as you can see, there are so many classes in here that are predefined. So suppose we have say class like this. Suppose we have a class like lead in my Bootstrap file, and we also have the same in style.css with different styling. The one in my style CSS will take preeminence because that one will load after my Bootstrap. But if I want the Bootstrap to take preeminence, I will load it after my style CSS. But rarely would you need to have a custom CSS that is being overridden by Bootstrap. It will be unnecessary to have it. So that's why the order is important. So we'll just go ahead and reload our page and see some of the things that we can change. So as you can see, it's already picked some. Just by introducing the Bootstrap, you can see there are already some things that have changed. You can see the font has changed, and this has already changed. The table, you can see it's looking different. Yeah, and so just by introducing the Bootstrap CSS, and the reason for that is because, for example, for the body tag, if we come and try and look at the properties in Bootstrap, we can see that there are some of these properties that have been already assigned to it. You can see this is where we got the font. If we undo it, you can see it changes font size, font style, font weight, margin, line height, and all that. You can see it's already changing, and some are inherited from HTML. You can see the HTML from Bootstrap also has the font setting. We remove it, it goes back to the previous one, line height and all that. So just by adding it, you can see that we already have some changes. So, but we can still make this better. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to introduce what we call a container. So after the body, we are going to add a div, and we are going to give it a class of container. Now container is a class that allows you to have a fixed width. It's a fixed width container. You're going to see how that works out. So if we reload our page, you can see that the margins have changed. We are having it from here to here. So that is the first part. We can also we also have what we call a fluid. Container fluid. This is the same as container, but it spans the whole width of the web page. So you can see it's gone from this end to this other end. But for now, let's work with the container, the one that we were using previously. Then the second thing that we are going to do is, for this part, we are going to replace this class with what we call a jumbo train, which will just still help to call attention to that title of ours of Hello World. So what we'll do, just come here and change why is it this main heading, just remove this ID. If we reload it, you can see it will just come to plain text as we have it here. Then we come and introduce our jumbotron here. So when I save it, that's how it appears. But then I want it to be centered, to be centered, the text. So I'll just come here and introduce another class, which is text center. This is still from Bootstrap. So if I load it, you can see that our text is at the center. Then for the color, we want to change it to, maybe give it a, we have different classes for color. We have what we call success, we have danger, we have, yeah. So for this one, we want to make it if you want it to be red, we'll add the text danger plus. If we want it to be green, we'll say text success. If we want it to be yellow, we can say warning. So for now, let's give it text a class. So you can have two classes for the same element. So for now, let's have it as text danger. That means it should change color to red. So as you can see, it's changed to red. And then the next thing that I want us to do is to look at the grid system. I'll try to explain it in a simple term. Now, when we look, if we say maybe we want to introduce a row, Bootstrap has a grid system which is made up of rows and columns. And the most basic is when you have a row, say spanning from this place from here to here, it is divided from one end of the container in which it is to the other. A row by default usually has 12, is divided into 12 columns. You can divide your page into columns and rows, getting to divide them based on that. I'm going to show you exactly what that means. So for instance, here we had this sidebar that we were creating and the content here, but you remember that when we were doing this with CSS, we had to define the width for each of the sections and where it starts and where it stops. We had to do that manually, but for now I'm going to show you how Bootstrap makes it so easy to do that. So to get started, we will just introduce, instead of this sidebar, I'm going to introduce, just within the same container, I'm going to introduce, after the Jumbo train, I'm going to introduce a row. So it's just a div, but the class name is a row. And then within this div, I'm going to, as we said a row has 12 columns. So we can specify the span of a column by saying we have a number of conventions. For now, I'm going to choose the one that is associated with medium screen size, that is column MD. So if I say column MD and then I add 1, that will mean that I'm choosing a section that is sorry. So if I have a column with a class of I'll give with a class of column md1. What it means is that I'm picking one part of the 12 parts that are in that row, and I'm choosing that one to be the width of my 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 column. We can have a total of 12 such columns in a single row. If I change it to 2, it means we can have a total of 6 such in my row. If I put 3, it means you simply take 12 divided by this, so that means I can have 4 of these. If I choose 6, that means I can have 2 of these. So I could still have 6 and have I could still have 6 and have another column of 3 and another column of 3, like that. So that means I have 3 columns. One is half the width of the container, and then the other 2 are a quarter of the width each, so they'll fit in that. So for now, I'll choose to have one that is 4 and another one that is 8. So you can see they both add up to 12, so that I have this text in the first, I nest it within the first column, and then in my paragraph here I'll also have it in the first column. Sorry. So I can have it that way, then I can do away with the sidebar. Actually, for today we may not even use the custom style, so I can just go ahead and comment it, so that we just use the Bootstrap. So if I reload it, you can see my sidebar is here in this column, and the rest of the column is, we've not added, this one is still where it was, so we've not added the content. So I'll just come and copy the whole of this content and put it in the other part. But let me just show you how from the inspector how it looks. So as you can see here, this is our row. The row spans the entire width of the container. And then if I come to this column, you can see that it's that part. Then we have the other bit, which is the remaining part. So I'm going to add the other text that we left, the one in the main contents. So we'll just copy that and bring it and nest it inside this div here to here. Try to make it look good. Like that. So then I do away with this one as well, just the same way I did away with the sidebar. So we are actually not using the custom style. Then I reload my page. As you can see, after reloading my page, uh, you can see that the content has come here, but now we'll have to resize the image again. Yeah, we'll have to resize the image. Okay, on second thoughts, maybe we could just have we could still have the style CSS for the sake of the initial formatting that we had. So let's just have it back, the initial formatting of the image and resizing. So when we do that, you can see it's there, but clearly it's more presentable than what we had previously. When we show image, that is what comes. Hide, click here. So we still have the rest of the page functioning the way it was supposed to function. So now this time I'm going to the image. We'll just change one by one. So for the image, I'm going to see additional content. This one was not working, so I try to put the class of text center. See what happens. So just reload. Still not showing the way we want it to show. So what I will do, I'll just remove this. Then instead I'll add the class of text center. Then I remove this to see what happens. Well, it's not centering, but don't worry, we'll find a way of fixing it. And then the other thing is I want some space down here after the first of all, let's do some formatting to the table. You can have the table as class is equals to, you can have it as table. That's for Bootstrap. It should make a difference. Yeah, as you can see, something has changed. It looks bigger and better. Then we can also add a table strict. We'll see what that will do. You can see it's alternating the dark and light rows of the table. Then we can also make it table over. When we reload, you can see when I move the mouse there, it highlights the row on which I am. The next thing I would want us to do is to format the buttons. We can add a class for the buttons. Like for this one, we can have it as class class button, so that you see just what happens, how different it will be from the other one. And it's different from the other one. And then I'll come and say button primary, so that you see the difference. That's an additional class. You can see it's added that color. And then for the second one, I'll come and add button button info, so that you can see the difference between the two. You can see, let me, instead of info, let me put button warning. So if I reload, you can see the color will change. It's now the warning color. You can still have it as button success. This should change it to green color. I reload, you can see. And then I will want to have some, as you can see, I want to have some margin after the button, that is after this div. So one way of doing it in Bootstrap is just come to this div, and then I say margin. You can say MB, that is to say margin bottom. Then I make it maybe MB5. Then we see what happens. You can see that some space has been added here, and our page looks much better than it was looking previously. So when I hide the image, that is how it shows. When I show, that is how it shows. You can see that what we have right now is a more presentable page design. Yeah, for the image, trying to center it. You can try to close it in another container and see what happens. So you can actually nest a div. I mean, you can have within this column, we can still have another column, another row and column. So maybe we can just try that. It goes to row, and then inside that row we can have another div. Class is equals to column D. Let's have it as 2. Then you can have another one similar to that. Then we can have another one, but we leave this one as empty, so that we have 2 and 8 in the middle, and then we have our image in the middle, and then the class can have it as image fluid, so that it fits the width of the container of that particular, something of the sort. So you can see the way I've done it, the way I've centered it is that I have inside here I've added a row. So where is that row? This is the row. So this is the row, the first column is empty, the second column is also empty, then the third column is in the middle of these two, and its column span is 8. Then I've added the image fluid, which means that the image will occupy the width of the container. You can see here it's maximum width is 100%, and the height is automatic based on the aspect ratio. So if I choose to remove it, you can see that the image goes back to the original size. So we can agree that this is it's taken us a shorter time, and our page is looking much more presentable. And so without writing any CSS code, we've managed to come up with such a thing. So that is the power of Bootstrap. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we are going to look at, I'm going to introduce Font Awesome, and then after that we'll be able to work on a full website integrating all of the things that we've been reading and studying. So just keep it here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, kindly like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next